Personally, I think that stone generators are one of the most useful farms in Minecraft. I say one of the, not the most useful farms. There are obviously XP farms, mob farms, things like that are still very useful. But some people just need ridiculous amounts of stone. And for some people, a stone generator that gives you 12 per second, yes, 12 per second, may just not cut it. So for the people who believe that a stone generator this fast is not enough, I have prepared something that is about 60% faster than this. Yes, it is a stone generator that gives you 20 per second.
Lo and behold, here it is. Now, to say that this is a bit overkill is an understatement. This thing is actually the fastest possible. In case you're wondering what that command block does, air, that's for haste because I'm too lazy to build a beacon, and that just gives you XP. So before you start coming at me in the comment sections, that's what they do. Anyways, if you go into survival mode, just look at how fast this thing is. Now, it does take like 2 seconds for it to sync up properly, but once it syncs up, you are going to be constantly mining stone with haste too. Just think about how absurd that is. So yeah, not a single time would you be able to reach past the final block. Well, I mean, starting with the fact that you can't actually reach farther than that. But anyways, you may be wondering what exactly are the drop rates. And this doesn't exactly give you 20 per second because you can't pick up all the stone. There is some loss. Some of it somehow gets stuck all the way at the top. Don't ask me how that happens. But in 2 minutes, you would get this much. So you can ignore these 60 at the top. You'd get 27 stacks in half. Somewhere close to that. So in 5 minutes, you'd be filling up about 2.5 shulker boxes. In 5 minutes, you'd fill up more than an entire double chest. Think about how crazy that is. Well, this is enough talking. That's it for the demonstration, and let's get on with the tutorial. Alright guys, so for this build, there is a number of things that go just beyond redstone that you will be needing. For example, you will be needing a full beacon, which requires 2 stacks and 36, and this is for haste 2. You're also going to need a pickaxe with efficiency 5, and I really recommend putting at least unbreaking and mending on it to fix it with XP. And keep in mind that if you want silk touch, and keep in mind that if you want stone, you should really put silk touch on this. But for the actual materials list required to do the redstone, keep in mind that this does not include building blocks. You are going to need 24 chests, 18 hoppers, 30 obsidian, 15 solid blocks, 14 glass, 2 observers, 2 sticky pistons, 30 normal pistons, 49 pieces of redstone dust, 6 redstone repeaters, 5 redstone torches, 1 piece of string, and 2 tripwire hooks. You are also going to need 2 buckets of water, which will be reused, and 4 buckets of lava. Ahem. I was choking on my own saliva by the end there. Okay, yeah, so that's it for the materials list. Alright guys, so once you have your beautiful, beautiful haste 2 beacon built up, you're going to find a place for the farm. Now what I will be doing for this tutorial is blocks that can be either transparent blocks or solid blocks will be in white stained glass. Blocks that have to be solid blocks will be iron blocks, and blocks that have to be glass will be normal glass. Now I really suggest that when looking for a spot for this, it is right next to an XP farm, so that way you can use it while your pickaxe is fixing itself. If you have mending on it, of course. Now, we're going to start off by finding where we're going to be. So we're going to stand right here when mining, going in that direction. Now, you're going to place... Oh, and keep in mind that this build is not at all directional, so you can obviously build it in this direction, that direction, that direction, and that direction. For those of you who don't know, it is actually possible to make redstone contraptions that only work in a certain direction, and this usually isn't intentional. But anyways, place hoppers right there, above 6 temporary blocks. Then you're going to place chests right there, and you're going to do that for the 6 rows of depth. So this is where your 24 chests will go. And you have to place double chests like this, so that the hoppers at the top are working at double speed, and they can split up evenly into the chest. Well, actually, they don't split up evenly at all. It goes mainly to the bottom chests, but it's so that it works faster, pretty much. Alright, so now what you're going to want to do is place... Oh my goodness, I can't do anything. Cover this up with glass, and then you are going to grab your pistons, not sticky pistons, your normal pistons, and place them right here. So place one right there for reference. That's what I like to do. Then I grab obsidian, place it out right there. And then we obviously have to cover this up, just like that. And this is where our water will be going. So just do that and that. Buckets of water there, infinite water source there, and then you can fill up the rest. Once that's done, just grab your pistons and do that. We're going to be placing in all of our pistons before any of the actual redstone, well, because there's a lot of water when we do this. And if you have any nearby redstone, please be careful. There is nothing more tragic than accidentally spilling a bunch of things everywhere. And by things, I mean water all over your redstone. Just the worst feeling that one can experience. Okay, so once you have this done, you could say this is a quarter of it. We have to do this here, here, and then up on top 2 more times. So I'm going to go with you guys for the beginning of it, and then I will leave you off to do it yourselves. So you're going to cover this up like this. This is where your pistons will go. So blocks there. The obsidian that will be going back here. And then I think you guys get the idea from here. You pretty much just place water there, infinite water source, cover that up, and yeah. You know what, I'm going to build it on camera because I built this surprisingly fast. So let me just go ahead and finish this up before we can move on to the next part. Now feel free to pause the video at any time. I don't expect anyone to actually build it that fast. Okay, so once you've built that, what you're going to do is cover it up. And we are then going to build everything once again on top of it. So you want to cover this up and cover this up, just like that. And we're rebuilding it now. So place a row of blocks there. This is the section that we will be covering up. So that like that. An extra row of blocks there, and then obsidian in the back. Now the reason for which we're using obsidian right here is so that if you do leave the machine on, which it does stay on for like maybe 1 or 2 seconds after you stop using it, it's so that the machine doesn't break itself, because there's nothing more depressing than spending a bunch of time on a redstone contraption and just have it break itself. Okay, so that's it for this side, and now for the other side. So it's simple. I'm going to do it on camera again, but this time not so slowly. So just row of blocks here and here, then obsidian in the back like that. Blocks here to prevent water from flowing out. And then you place your water and your pistons. That one's not waterlogged. Oh wait, no it is. Row of blocks there, lava there, and then you cover this up. That's going to be a problem. Okay, yeah, this can happen. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. And please don't try to do what I did there and place the lava and then the blocks. Just place the blocks first and then the lava, please. I don't want you guys to make a mess in your redstone worlds or survival worlds. Most likely survival worlds, now that I think about it. Probably the only person that's ever going to build this in a redstone world. Anyways, now what you're going to do is go on the back side and just cover this up. You kind of want to go crazy. I'm going to cover this up here and also add a row of blocks underneath that right there. Now, the reason for which we are covering this section up isn't so that it looks nice, but so that when the blocks are being pushed into place and they haven't been picked up by the hoppers yet, it's so that they don't get pushed out of the way. And even with all of this in place, with these pistons that we need to place up here, Even with all of this in place, it is still possible for there to be blocks up here. Like, the blocks go from all the way down here to up here. I mean, I had personally never seen that in Bedrock Edition up until just now, but I guess it can happen. So you're also going to want to cover this up just like that. This is optional. It's mainly so that it looks nice. But there it is for the actual piston placement. And now we will have to start with the redstone. Okay guys, so for the redstone part, it really isn't that complicated. We're going to start off by placing 2 tripwire hooks there and some string right there. Now at the bottom right here, we're going to make a redstone line headed into a block. So it's going to go this far and then into a block. So go ahead and grab your redstone and place it right there. So once that's done, place a redstone torch there, a block, a redstone torch, a block, some redstone dust, then a block, then another redstone torch, and then up here we are going to have a sticky piston facing this way with an observer on its face right there. And what you guys can do here is actually go ahead and do this and cover this up with redstone. So just like that. Now before we go any farther, it is really important that you add obsidian down here. Because if you forget this, well, the machine's going to break pretty much. So go ahead and place obsidian underneath these hoppers. Now if you are building this at bedrock level, just go ahead and fill in the blocks. No need to place that extra obsidian. But if you are not, it's not worth taking a risk. Okay, so you have this here, and we're going to build up a simple redstone clock. So repeater set to 3 ticks there, go into a block with a redstone torch, then some redstone dust there, and a repeater set to 2 ticks. We're going to have a block there, a repeater set to 1 tick, going into a block, and that is going to have a sticky piston facing this way, and an observer facing this way. Now we're going to add redstone all over here, down at the bottom right here, and we're going to have it go back up, just like this. Now this does have to be normal glass, keep in mind, or else it will not work. Now for the top part, what you're going to want to do is place a repeater set to 1 tick, going into a block with some redstone dust right there, and then a block there, and a repeater set to 2 ticks right there. That's going to be going into a block. You're going to have redstone dust all over like that. And that is it for this side. Now for this side, we're going to do essentially the same thing. So go ahead and do that. Place a block there. Some redstone dust there. Block there. Block, repeater, and some redstone dust. Now for the final part, you're pretty much going to want to cover this up. So you cover this up like this. There we go. And once all of this is covered up, you've made sure you have all your timing set up properly, the farm is now complete. So if you turn on your haste 2 beacon and go ahead and stand right here, you can see that the farm should now be working. So go into survival mode, aim at the end, stand here, and we should have our farm working. Now, the first time does take a bit longer to sync up properly, but once you start, you're not stopping. You're getting 20 per second, which is ridiculous. But thank you guys so much for watching. That is going to sum up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this design, the tutorial, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Well, thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!